everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a story time. Reason being is this morning my car got picked up from home here and it got taken in to get fixed because a little while back, probably about a month and a bit ago now, I was in a car accident with a truck, and so now it's finally getting fixed after a lot of phone calls and a lot of running around trying to contact people, you know, all that fun stuff that happens when you're in an accident. So at the moment I'm just folding up some clothes and Paris is in her bassinet. So once I fold up these clothes, I will be getting Paris. But before I tell you guys this story, I'm just going to have a little chat. So, because I have no car, I normally do a lot of outings on my channel, on my YouTube channel. But obviously I won't be able to do as many because it's a lot of the shops and stuff aren't really walking distance, especially with the weather the way it is at the moment and how unfit I am. But I've been thinking of some ideas, so yeah, hopefully I can do at least one outing. I should get the car back on Friday. They seem to think that it'll be ready for pickup on Friday, so I'm really excited about that. I've never really been without a car before. So. Anyway, I'm rambling. So yeah, I finished folding the clothes, so now I've just got to put them away. Okay, so while I tell you the story about what happened to my car, little Paris here is going to be playing with her toy. So what happened was I was at the shopping centre. Well, it's not really a shopping centre, it's more of just a little complex. Has a few restaurants, a $2 store, a bakery and a supermarket. And then right over on the far end of the car park there was a chemist being built. Anyhow, there was a truck in there and she was leaving just when I was leaving. And I was ready to come out of my lane and I was giving way to the truck because it's a very narrow, and the widest bit outside is even really too narrow for a truck. Like, you know, it's just crazy. Anyway, what happened was I was not going because obviously, you know, she was covering up most of my path, so I would have hit her. So I just waited and I'm like, yeah, she's gonna go straight ahead because I have seen trucks in there before, even though that car park isn't made for trucks. So what happened was she decided that she was going to turn down my lane. And I was like, oh my goodness, these lanes are so narrow, they barely fit two cars down it, let alone a car and a truck. And it was a big truck. I'll put a picture in afterwards of the damage to my car and the size of the truck. Anyhow, so she tried to turn down my lane and I was like, oh my goodness. So I tried to move over as close as I could to the other parked cars, like keeping in mind there was like expensive cars like BMWs and everything, and I was like, I don't want to hit them. Anyway, eventually I heard this scrape up the side of my car and I was like, oh, please tell me you've seen me, because I know when trucks and stuff hit smaller vehicles or anything, they can absolutely not feel it. They can think it's a curb just because of the size difference between us. And I was like, oh my goodness, please just stop moving, like don't move. And like the truck was right up against my driver's side door, so I couldn't even open it. And like, oh my goodness, I was having pink kittens, guys. No, I was having more than pink kittens. I was having blue, orange and pink kittens. Anyway, so basically what happened was she ended up moving and I was like, oh, has she realized? And then she got out and she's like, oh, I'm taking photos. Like, that's the first thing she did. She was just taking photos. And I'm like, aren't you going to see if I'm all right? I mean, obviously I was all right, but, you know. But anyhow, so then once she had moved, I could get out of my car and I took a few photos myself. And then she asked for my license. So obviously, you know, we swapped license details. She called her manager. She said she'd only been on the job for 2 weeks. And according to her license, I think she only just got it this year. So I think experience played a big part in this accident. But I just felt like her attitude was not very good. I've been in an accident before. That's another story, another day. Basically, my mum was driving and a truck ran into the back of us. It was a much smaller truck, but still caused a fair bit of damage to our family car. But he got out and he came and asked if we were all okay, and like, you know, was really caring, and, you know, swap details and all that, and all was good. But like, she was like saying, oh, I'm not allowed to admit fault, and oh, you have to delete my license off your phone. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not deleting any details off my phone from this accident. Like, I'm not gonna pay this this damage when I didn't cause it. Like, all I did was get out of bed that day and go shopping. Anyhow, so after her stinking bad attitude, we waited and waited and waited until she got the go ahead of what she had to do. And then my I nearly said scar. It did scar me. I was shaking like crazy. Anyway, so my car was still drivable, but it had a great big scrape up the side and great big dent. So that is why it is going to be away all week, getting fixed. It's got to be like painted again, and also, because I was under the age of 21, or is it 25? I forget. It's either 21 or 25. Because I was under the age of 21 or 25, the excess is a lot more. Like, it's like $1,200, and that is like what the damage was gonna be. So it was like I was having to pay money anyway. So we just rang up the company, and after a lot of running around and everything, we finally got the car fixed, or getting fixed. But yeah, but we rang up the company and they took her out for another drive and just made sure that she was able to drive that size truck. But yeah, oh my goodness, it was so scary. And like, I could tell that she wasn't going to make the turn, so that's why I went as close to those cars as I could. Like, I was expecting her to go ahead around the widest part of the car park, but no, she wanted to take a shortcut, and it hugely messed up both our days. And now I'm without my car for a week, so I can't do any reborn outings. I might be able to do another walk-in video, and actually I could probably take you guys up to the place where the accident happened and show you guys around. So yeah, that's what happened with the car accident. I'm going to insert some pictures, as I said before. So yeah, that's the story of what happened, and it was so scary, and I've been afraid of trucks ever since. Like, every time I see a truck on the road, like, my heart nearly stops beating from just being so terrified, because, you know, they're so much bigger than a car, and, you know, it's scary. That incident really scared me to think, you know, that I could have been killed that day if I didn't move. And the girl actually said to me, if I didn't move, she would have gone over the top of my car. And I was thinking, a thought afterwards, actually, because I hadn't paid, I was about to do my last payment on Paris, because this was before I had Paris. I was about to do my last payment on Paris, and I was actually messaging the artist that morning. So when I went to my phone to grab it to call my husband and my mum, and tell them, you know, I've been in an accident but I'm okay, there was messages from my reborn artist, and I was like, oh my goodness, what if I had the baby in the car with me? Like, how scary. What if I had a passenger? You know, I was just thinking, you know, they could have gone over the top of my car. You know, what if I had, you know, a real baby in the car? You know, it's just, it makes you think, you know, you just got to be so careful when you're on the road. I mean, I've always been, I'm not the best driver. I'm going to be the first to admit that. But when my parents were teaching me to drive, my mum always said, you are driving a weapon, so you have to drive very carefully. You can't have even a moment where you are not paying attention, or you're wandering off, you know, or you're thinking about something else. Your concentration always has to be that you are driving a weapon. And every time I've got in the car since, I've always thought that, you know, the life of other people, it's in our hands. And it's just, I'm so glad that my parents taught me that, because it taught me to be a more cautious driver. And also moving over to get closer to those cars. My dad always told us to do that. He said, if something's going to hit you and it's pretty obvious that it's going to hit you, he said, do whatever you have to do. Even if you have to go into a gutter, it's better to go into a gutter than to hit a oncoming vehicle. So yeah, I'm really glad for those lessons that my parents taught me when I was learning to drive. So yeah, that's the story of what happened to my car. So as you can see, there is no car in the garage because it's gone away to get fixed after the accident. And then over here we have all this stuff that we have nowhere to put. But yeah, my car's not here. Quite sad. So I'm only gonna reveal half of the truck. I had to crop it so you wouldn't see the name of the company. But yeah, I just cropped it so you guys would get an idea on how tall the truck was that hit me. I just didn't feel that it was appropriate of me to share the company's name, and since they've been so good with making sure that it's not going to happen again, you know, it's the respectful thing to do. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, just show you guys part of the truck just so you have an idea on how big the truck was. Okay, so before I finish up this video, I'm just going to insert a few clips from a date I went on last night. Basically what happened was I was going to vlog it, but I didn't have enough time because it was a spur of the moment decision. So basically what happened was I wanted to do something special for my husband. So what I did was I just put together like some plates from home, got a plastic tablecloth, a vase, brought some flowers, some chocolate, mint chocolate. What else did I get? I had some cold sparkling water in the fridge, and I cut up some lemons and put them on some plastic wine glasses, and basically I set up a table in a had a picnic basket. He had no idea where we're going. I just said, get in the car, we're going somewhere. Anyway, so it was a surprise date for him. So basically when we got there, I said, right, I'm going down to the jetty to set up. We ordered the, but before we did that, we ordered the takeaway, and I said, now you wait here and wait for the takeaway and just come down to the jetty afterwards, because it's a spot that our family goes a lot, so he knew where to go. and it was walking distance. And so basically he got the fish and chips, and then he came down and I surprised him. Now if you look closely in this clip, you will see a flash of lightning. It was storming while I was setting up, and it was still storming while we were eating, but it wasn't bad, so it didn't ruin the date. And I was worried that it was going to get dark before he got there, but it was just on getting dark. And then when it did get dark, the jetty had some lights, so that was really handy. So that's what happened. Surprise! What do you think of it?
This is the worst idea ever.
So when he said it's the worst thing he's ever seen, he said that because he knew I was videoing, and he always says things just to look funny on camera. Anyhow, after I stopped filming, he said how much he loved it, so I think I pulled this one off, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Bye!